Stewart Dickson, rapporteur of the Monitoring Committee of the Congress. Welcome to our Mediabox.
Thank you.
You were rapporteur of the report on local and regional democracy in the Russian Federation. And it's just adopted in the plenary session.
Indeed.
So first of all, could you give us your outcomes and observations of this monitoring visit?
Yeah, very happy to do so. And set it in the context of how incredibly large and complex and deep the Russian Federation is when it comes to monitoring and observing local and regional democracy. Such a vast territorial area, and indeed an incredible mixture of systems and arrangements of mayors and city managers, of local authorities, of regional authorities, of City Duma. A very complex subject to get our heads around, and one which we took a great deal of time over.
Yeah, please.
And I think it's important to explain that in doing this report, we took a great deal of time and we looked in depth into all the systems and levels of local and regional democracy right across the Federation.
And what are your outcomes from this visit, and what could you say about, let's say, the challenges on this local democracy for Russia?
There are both positives and negatives.
Absolutely.
And indeed that's true of every monitoring report which we conduct. It's some 10 years since we last did a monitoring report into the Russian Federation, and I think, and it came out in the debate, that has simply been far too long. And while a number of the points that were raised over 10 years ago have been acted upon and indeed very positively implemented, there are others which weren't. And of course there has been no challenge to that over this last 10-year period. There are challenges ahead, one in particular to a change of rules which allows not for the election of city mayors, but rather the appointment of city managers by a number of local authorities coming together, setting up an appointment panel, but doing that through the regional governor. We believe that is denying a democratic vote to the citizen, and the citizen should decide whether they have a mayor, and then it should be for that mayor to present their programme and for the citizens to vote for it.
Could you please also tell about your recommendations that you also mentioned in the report?
Specifically in the report, we made reference to issues like the number of signatures that have to be gathered, indeed, for a person to be able to stand for election. And we've seen there's not only been a number of complaints about that, but indeed it has led to unrest by citizens. I made a very clear point in my response in the chamber just a few moments ago that if there are issues about who signs a piece of paper for a democratic election, it's the responsibility of the government and the electoral authorities to set out incredibly clearly for the citizen how they have the right to be elected and what is required of them. And therefore, if a number of signatures have to be gathered, how you gather those signatures, who those signatures are and what their address is or where they live, all of those rules need to be clearly set out, and there should be no ambiguities about how that should be done.
Thank you for your contribution, Mr. Rapporteur.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.